Good afternoon. My name is Demetria Vesey. I am the Assistant Director for the Division of Employment and Training Services. I'm a part of the leadership team for the Career Guide Initiative. I see that we have Miss Diane on with us. Let's see. Uh, yeah, we're not going to do any formal introductions. I am just going to allow Ms. Mary Haas with NIT to go ahead and get started and provide information on the truck driving industry. Ms. Diane, if you have any questions, please feel free to add those questions in the chat.
Thank you,
All right,
Demetria.
you're welcome.
I'm happy to be here. Mary Haas with Northern Industrial Training. I am super uncomfortable with presenting. However, I think that going out of your comfort zone is a way to, just improve yourself. So here I am today. Bear with me if I have any technical issues, and I'll do my best. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and start my presentation. Northern Industrial Training. So Northern Industrial Training is a training facility. We had our 20-year anniversary 2 years ago. So NIT's been in business for 22 years now. And we are known basically for the state's professional truck driving classes, Class A CDL. And we have various locations for CDL training. We have a campus in Palmer, Alaska. That's where our main campus is. Students attend our Palmer facility classroom for their first week, and then they proceed out to our range, which is located at the Palmer Fairgrounds. We also have a campus in Fairbanks now, where students take their first week of classroom training and then proceed to various locations throughout Fairbanks to learn their CDL. Our training are fast paced. So basically our programs are 4 or 6 weeks long. They are Monday through Thursday, 10-hour days. NIT has various other training programs. We're not going to talk about them, but we are a training provider that develops programs based upon the needs of the state of Alaska. We don't train just to train. We want to see individuals take training and be successful and get employed within the state of Alaska, because we believe that a highly trained workforce is very paramount to our economy. Employers choose NIT because we have a longstanding reputation for providing very fine and skilled students when they graduate. In fact, at the end of our programs, often we have partnerships with training facilities, employers that want to talk to our graduating students because they want to employ our students because they know that they've been skillfully trained. Again, we have programs in professional truck driving, heavy equipment, welding, mechanics, skilled laborer, carpentry, admin assistant, and other safety programs. But since we're only going to talk about professional truck driving today, I'll focus on that. And as I explained before, our CDL programs are offered in Palmer and Fairbanks. We offer 4 and 6 week long programs. It is the responsibility of our administrative team, once a student applies, to go through with the student or the applicant to decide, based on several questions, what is the best program between 4 and 6 week that the student should enroll in. Class schedules are Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And a program overview is, if we're doing a 4-week program, first week is called Entry Level Driver Training Theory and CDL permit preparation. So the individuals that attend a training will sit through a classroom Monday through Thursday, and during that time, they will take what is called theory, and this is required by DOT, Department of Transportation. Everybody has to complete it. And then students will practice their CDL permit and take it with our instructors right there at campus. And then once they pass, they can go down to DMV and obtain their permit. Weeks 2, they start up on the various ranges that we have in Palmer. We have a large area where students gain like their confidence and skills to operate the tractor, be proficient in, changing gears and comfortable before they get out up on the road. Weeks 3 and 4, students continue to learn their driving skills and take it out on main highways in downtown areas where they learn to operate this tractor, at turning corners, on and off ramps, going at higher speeds. Admission requirements are pretty simple. An individual must be 18 years old. Used to be 19. The president of NIT attended many Juneau meetings and made a law to change it down to 18 years old because we need truck drivers in the state of Alaska. Pretty much at any given time, there's 3,000 to 3,500 CDL jobs within the state of Alaska. So that's good to know. Other requirements is you just have to have a Class D driver's license. That's your regular driver's license. You can have that one day, and the next day you can enroll in your CDL training. We ask that students pass a 5-panel drug screen within 30 days of start of class, and at that time get a medical card. This allows you to be able to pick up a permit. Without a DOT medical card, you are unable to pick up your permit. Also, we ask for a driver's license and a copy of a social security card. Often students from remote villages of various locations throughout Alaska don't have a copy of a driver's license. So before they come to town to get their Class D, they have to have a driver's license. And then also real IDs documentation is another very important. Within the state of Alaska, even though the law says that everybody has to have a real ID to travel within the state of Alaska, you can pay a fee and get to Anchorage. But in order to pick up your CDL and your permit, you have to have all the documentation that's required for a real ID. So that's really important to gather all that document before you come to NIT. NIT also can provide travel and lodging, or excuse me, meals and lodging. Students would have to fly in or come to Palmer campus if they live remotely or out of the range. And NIT has partnerships with the Valley Hotel where that we can do lodging and meal plans at an additional fee. So students always ask about how we have funding sources. NIT has a website, nitalaska.com, and there are main categories at the top of the screen, and you can toggle over to student services, and it'll bring a drop-down menu of options that students can apply for funding. Often there's a lot of Native scholarships. Individuals can reach out to their shareholders development team, and they can partially fund it. There's the Alaska Performance Scholarship. So there's lots of options for funding sources. And really, that leads me to any questions. I know that was quick.
Oh, no, it was great. I do have a question.
Yes.
I have a couple questions.
Okay.
So you mentioned that there are some employers that will come to class and with interest in recruiting some of NIT students. Do you have, can you give us the names of a few employers that recruit for truck drivers directly from NIT?
Carlisle. Yes. And we, did I mention this? I might not have. We have an alumni job board that graduates of NIT are the only students or participants that can see these jobs that are offered by like partnerships we have with companies like Carlisle. And so they'll put out their open job positions and students can see those. So we don't guarantee hire, but if you have a Class A CDL and you're looking for a job, you are not going to have a problem finding one. Mhm. I
Excellent.
also like to stress that, again, some people say to me, well, I don't want to, drive in the remote areas. There's jobs of all kinds. When you have a CDL, it's like a door opening into so many different areas. Like you can be a dump truck driver for construction equipment. You can deliver heavy equipment. You can do deliveries in Anchorage. You can work for the fish industry, moving fish. I mean, it's endless. Opportunities are endless.
Hi, do you have any opportunities for students to be able to sort of tag along like a job shadow for a day or something like that to get an insight into what it would be like to do a job like that?
I am not aware of that. We do offer tours of our campus, though. Individuals can see what it would be like to be in the truck. We allow students to get up inside of one of our tractors. So, I mean, I can find that question out. Maybe there would be a company that would, maybe I should reach out to Carlisle. I'll find that out for you. Can you put your name and email in the
Yes,
chat?
I'll do that.
Thank you. And I'll get that question answered. Am I missing all those questions, this 12 questions that I know somebody had? No? Okay.
Those were mine.
Okay.
And you actually have answered almost all of them already.
Okay.
That was one of the ones that I still had. And then what was one of her other questions? Sorry about that. I moved away from it. Yeah, you answered almost all of them. There was also a question, though, about driving record and what kinds of things might be deal breakers stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I don't know the deal breakers. I know that when an applicant reaches out to NIT and wants to enroll in a program, we ask for them to provide a copy of their driving record. And that way, those individuals can review it and make sure that they will be able to get a CDL, that there isn't anything in their record that would inhibit them. I see a question, but I don't see it all.
Nope,
Can somebody read
was
off that
just-
question to me?
That was the question that Sarah already asked.
Okay.
And so Sarah, if you could just include your email address as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And getting that driving record, we have students go to the DMV website, apply for their own. It costs $10. And so applying is a process, but in the scheme of the rest of your life, it is a fraction, and so is 4 weeks. I mean, 4 10-hour days, 16 days, and you potentially have a Class A CDL, I say a certification or training that will literally change your life, the trajectory of your career path, your life. I often talk to students and then they're quiet on tours. And I was like, hey guys, who wants a new truck? Who wants a new snow machine? And then I get people, their eyes start lighting up. And I said, how do you expect to have that when you get older? What's your goal? And everybody's kind of quiet and we start joking around a little bit. And I said, you have to have something. You have to have something a certification of some kind. You know, if you want to be a doctor, you have to go to college. That doesn't have to be everybody's life. College is a lot of commitment, but you have to have something. And you can, have your home, have, a family, and have those things everybody wants.
Very good. Thank you so much. This has been great information. Miss Diane, do you have any questions? Okay. I don't see any additional questions. Oh, yes. Yes, Miss Diane, you're more than welcome to unmute.
Unmuting. Okay, so I think I'm unmuted now. This is the first time I've used this program. I have several students here. I'm teaching at Mattagonic School in Mattagonic, Alaska, out in Bristol Bay type area. And we have young men here that are listening to your talk. I was wondering if you have any advice for students who might be coming from a village that is off the road system and not as familiar with the trucking business. Is there any advice you would give them as to things they should prepare for or think about if they're thinking about getting their CDL? We have bus drivers in our village, and they do have to have the CDL plus an extra thing that they do on. So this would be their first step to working in our village. But just kind of, I know that shift to going to a campus can be kind of challenging for kids coming from a small village like ours.
We have a very good support system here. So our instructors are actually the individuals that pick up students from the hotel and bring them to their training location, whether it be at campus or our range. And like I said prior, although many people don't have large road systems, we don't put anybody on a road without them being comfortable with operating this vehicle on our range. And everybody learns at a different pace. So, I mean, honestly, that'd be one of those questions that the admin team would probably ask the student. Where are you from? Have you ever drove over 55? I mean, some people have never, right? And so, and they might say, well, I think you'd probably be more successful enrolling in a 6-week program. And additionally with that, some people grow up driving their dad's dump truck or a tractor out in, at the farm, whatever it may be. And then that question would probably gear them toward might be more successful passing in the 4-week. So we have a lot of support with our instructors and our admin team. And these groups, you learn with 3 other students in a truck, and you become very close with these people. And similarly, if you're staying at the same hotel, we have a, no drug, no drinking policy. So students get together on their after hours and they find, fun things to do in Palmer together. I mean, and we make sure that they're monitored and that they have access to reaching one of us at any given time.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful. Okay.
Miss Diane, how many students do you have with you right now?
The students I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are listening to the talk. The rest of the students are working in the corners and so forth. We have something called the BBRCTE program here, and many of my students have been involved in that. I just wanted them to have the access to the information that this presentation would provide, because I do know that some of them were interested in professional driving of some sort.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And so Ms. Mary touched a little bit on funding opportunities for students. I just wanted to add a plug for the job centers because we have state and federal grants that can also assist with funding support for training and support services. And so if you have any students that are looking for funds for training, either in lieu of any shareholder grants or scholarships, or in addition to any shareholder grants and scholarships, if the scholarships they've received don't cover the entirety of the tuition and fees for training, a referral to the Job Center would be a great option for them. And so if you guys are in the Bristol Bay area, we have our Bristol Bay Job Center. Charlene Lopez is a pleasure to work with there in Dillingham. And so those students will be referred to her, and then she would work with them and get them referred to the right job center that has case managers that will help with those funding opportunities. And don't hesitate to reach out to anyone on this screen, myself included. If you have any additional questions, we'd be more than happy to provide additional support.
I'm going to see if I can figure out how to add to the chat. I'm going to put my personal email in here. And please reach out if you have any questions. Another resource again is nitalaska.com. It has email directions to if you have any questions there. It talks about the cost, it details all the certifications that you would get in each training. Let's see. And yeah, just talks about the curriculum.
I've also shared my contact information. And you're able to see the chat, correct, Miss Diane?
Yes, I am.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay. I will find out, Sarah, about the job shadowing. And okay, so no more questions in the chat other than that. Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you again for having me.
You're welcome.
I guess I didn't do too bad this time.
No,
Oh,
you did
thank you so much for your
great.
time.
You
Yeah,
did
okay.
great. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for having me. Okay.
Thank you so much. All right.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.